This is about your sister. Her secret will be revealed. Funny thing about secrets. They sit in the dark, waiting, like little bombs ticking under the floorboards. Everyone has them. Everyone hides them. But when they finally slip into the light, oh, that's when the game changes. You think you know someone because you share blood, because you share history, because you share a smile across the table. But secrets have a way of rewriting everything. And the closer the person, the deeper the cut. Because betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the ones you thought you knew best. Secrets are silent bombs waiting to explode. That's the beauty of them, isn't it? They don't make a sound while they're hidden. They just sit there, waiting, breathing beneath the surface. Everyone carries them, tucked neatly behind smiles, folded into laughter, stitched into everyday conversations. People think silence means safety, but silence is the most dangerous part of it all. Because the longer a secret sits in the dark, the heavier it grows, the more poisonous it becomes. And when it finally bursts, it doesn't whisper. It screams. It tears everything apart in seconds. Think about it. A lie told once is just a shadow. Small, easy to ignore. But when you hide it, when you feed it, when you guard it, it mutates into something bigger. A secret isn't just what you're hiding. It's the energy you spend protecting it. The glances you avoid, the words you don't say, the nights you stay awake making sure no one finds out. It consumes you while pretending to protect you. And the cruel joke is, it doesn't stay yours forever. Secrets are traitors. They want to escape. They itch, they crawl, they look for cracks to slip through. And people are terrible at keeping bombs buried. A slip of the tongue, a look in the wrong moment, a single careless word. It's all it takes. The secret escapes, and suddenly everything you built around it crumbles. One revelation, and trust evaporates. One confession, and all those years of pretending fall to dust. The explosion doesn't just destroy the liar. It scorches everyone standing close enough to believe them. The worst part, the ones you love the most are always closest to the blast. Strangers don't get hurt by your secrets. Family does. Friends do. The people who trusted you, who thought they knew you, who built their world around what you showed them. When a secret explodes, it doesn't just tear through your life, it rips through theirs. Because suddenly, the person they thought they knew never existed. They weren't loving you, they were loving a mask. And nothing cuts deeper than realizing the truth was hidden right in front of your eyes. A secret carries power, yes, but not the kind people dream of. It's not strength. It's a leash. It drags you through life. It controls how you speak, how you move, how you think. Every conversation becomes a battlefield where you dodge exposure. Every laugh feels hollow because you know it's built on a lie. And every day the fear grows. What if they find out? What if today is the day the bomb goes off? You don't control the secret. The secret controls you. And when it finally breaks loose, when the silence can't hold it anymore, it doesn't slip out gently. No, it tears its way into the light. It humiliates you, exposes you. leaves you naked in front of everyone who once believed. And you can feel it, can't you? The way their eyes change when they look at you. The warmth gone, the trust shattered, the blood between you suddenly poison. All because of a truth you tried to bury. That's why secrets are bombs. They don't just explode at random. They explode when you least expect it, when you're most comfortable, when you finally convince yourself you're safe. That's when they strike. And the blast doesn't just destroy the moment. It rewrites the past. Everything you said, everything you did, everything you shared now looks different in the new light. People start replaying every memory, every detail, searching for signs they missed. And in those moments, they realize the life they thought was real was nothing but smoke. You see, secrets always promise protection, but they never keep it. They promise safety, but they dig your grave. And when they're revealed, they don't just tell the truth. They remind everyone how long you've been lying. That's the explosion, the shockwave, the aftermath no one escapes. Secrets don't die in the dark. They only wait for the right moment to set everything on fire. Blood ties don't guarantee truth. People love to dress family up like it's a shield, like it's some golden bond that can't be broken, like it's stronger than steel. They tell themselves, family would never lie, family would never betray, family would never hurt me. But family isn't some holy contract. It's just people. And people lie. People hide. People bleed the same as strangers. The difference is, when blood lies, it cuts deeper. Because you thought blood was immune to deception. That's the lie everyone grows up swallowing, that family equals honesty. That siblings, parents, children, whatever the time may be, are incapable of shadows. But shadows don't care about bloodlines. They don't care about shared childhoods or dinners at the same table. In fact, family often makes the lies worse. Because family knows where to hide them. Family knows what you want to hear. Family knows the exact buttons to press to make you look away instead of digging deeper. And when you finally see it, when the mask slips, when the truth spills out, it doesn't just feel like a lie. It feels like your entire history has been rewritten. All those conversations, all those moments, all those looks, you start replaying them, realizing how much of it was staged, how much of it was built on silence. And the betrayal twists like a knife, because a stranger lying to you is expected, but a sister, a brother, a parent, that's supposed to be impossible, except it's not. The truth is, blood doesn't purify someone. It doesn't make them saints. It doesn't erase greed, fear, jealousy, or weakness. Sometimes it even makes those things worse. Because family lies aren't just about hiding sins. They're about protecting the image of the family itself. People will bury their own guilt deeper when they know exposure stains, not just themselves, but everyone connected to them. They'll keep secrets longer, guard them harder, all while smiling at you across the room like nothing's wrong. It's funny, isn't it? The very thing that's supposed to unite you is what blinds you. Blood creates trust without earning it. You believe them because they're yours, not because they deserve it. And that's the trap. That's why the lies hit harder. You let your guard down. You stop questioning. You think they'd never do that to me, but they can. They will. And when the moment comes, when the truth rips through the walls, you're left broken not just by the lie itself, but by the realization that you were a fool to think blood was a guarantee. And here's the darker part. Sometimes the lies feel necessary to them. They tell themselves, "I'm protecting you." They convince themselves that silence is mercy, that deception is kindness. They wrap their guilt in the excuse of love, as if hiding the truth could ever be love. But love doesn't erase betrayal. It delays it. It multiplies it. Because when the secret finally erupts, you don't just feel lied to, you feel patronized. Like they decided for you what truth you were strong enough to handle. Family is the perfect camouflage for secrets, and that's what makes it dangerous. People hide behind the word blood like it's armor, but it's really a mask. The kind of mask you don't see until it falls. And when it does, the face underneath isn't always what you thought it would be. That's the moment everything shatters. That's when you realize bloodlines don't guarantee truth. They only guarantee access. Access to your heart, your trust, your blind spots. And that's exactly where the knife goes in. You want to believe blood means loyalty. You want to believe it means honesty. But blood doesn't rewrite human nature. It doesn't erase flaws. It doesn't stop betrayal. In fact, it sharpens it. Because when family lies, the wound they leave isn't just betrayal. It's devastation. It's the collapse of the one place you thought was safe. And once that wall breaks, once you've seen the truth behind the blood, you can never look at it the same again. Betrayal cuts deepest when it comes from family. Strangers can hurt you, yes, but their knives don't sink nearly as far. You expect strangers to lie, to cheat, to twist the truth for their own gain. That's the game of the outside world, and you walk into it armored, prepared for betrayal from those who owe you nothing. But when it comes from blood, from someone you grew up with, someone who shared your home, your meals, your laughter, it doesn't just pierce the skin, it tears open the soul, because you never expected the blade to come from that direction. The irony of betrayal is that it requires trust first. A stranger can't betray you because you never gave them enough of yourself to hold in their hands. Betrayal is the price of intimacy. It's the cost of opening your chest and saying, "Here, this is me. This is everything I am. Hold it carefully." And family is where people do that the most. You don't think twice about trusting a sibling, a parent, someone who shares your blood. That's why their betrayal feels like suffocation. It isn't just the secret they kept. It's the faith you gave them that makes it unbearable. And when the truth breaks out, it doesn't just reveal what they did. It rewrites your entire relationship. Every memory becomes stained. Every moment you thought was pure suddenly feels poisoned. You replay the smiles, the conversations, the promises, and all you see now is the shadow of the lie behind them. You realize you weren't just betrayed in the present. You were betrayed in the past too. because those memories you cherished were never as real as you believed. The scar left by family betrayal is different. It lingers longer, it burns hotter, because it feels personal. A stranger might betray for money, for gain, for selfishness. But family betrayal carries an intimacy, a sense that they knew exactly what they were doing, that they understood the depth of your trust and still shattered it. That kind of betrayal isn't just about the act. It's about the message. You weren't worth the truth. And what's worse is how it isolates you. When betrayal comes from outside, you can retreat to family for comfort. You can return to the ones you trust to hold you steady. But when betrayal comes from within the family itself, where do you go? Where's the safe place then? Who do you lean on when the ones who should have been your foundation were the ones who struck the match? That isolation breaks something inside you, because it's not just about losing a person. It's about losing the idea of safety itself. Betrayal by family has another cruelty to it. It forces you to question everything about yourself. If blood can turn on you, then what does that mean about you? Were you blind? Were you weak? Were you naive to trust them so completely? You start interrogating your own judgment, punishing yourself for not seeing it sooner, for not sensing the blade hidden behind their smile. The betrayal doesn't just wound you, it infects you, making you doubt your own instincts. And the people who betray often don't even realize the depth of what they've done. To them, it might just be a secret, a choice, a small protection of their own pride or fear. But to the one betrayed, it's an earthquake. It shakes everything. It destroys the foundation. Because betrayal isn't measured by the one who commits it. It's measured by the one who trusted. And the closer the blood, the deeper the wound. That's the sick joke of family betrayal. It's not just about the lie, or the secret, or the act itself. It's about the collapse of something you thought unbreakable. It's about the death of certainty. It's about realizing the people you trusted most were capable of being the ones who hurt you most. And once that truth sets in, nothing ever feels safe again. A revealed secret changes everything you thought you knew. One moment, life feels solid, built on years of memories, words, and gestures you trusted. The next moment, a single truth comes out, and it all collapses like a house of cards. That's the thing about secrets. They don't just tell you something new. They change the meaning of everything old. Suddenly, the smiles, the promises, the casual conversations don't feel the same anymore. They feel staged. They feel tainted. Like you were living inside a play where everyone else knew their lines but you. It doesn't matter how small or how big the secret is. The effect is the same. Reality bends. You feel cheated, not just by the person who kept it, but by time itself. Because time suddenly feels like a liar. You thought you were building a story together, but the truth reveals you were reading a script that was never yours. Every moment you revisit in your mind becomes poisoned with doubt. Was that laugh real? Was that hug honest? Were those words genuine? Or were they just part of the cover-up? That's the cruelty of revelation. It doesn't give you answers. It gives you more questions. Questions that can't be undone. Questions that infect everything. And the more you dig, the more you realize the truth wasn't a sudden arrival. It was always there, hiding, shaping things in ways you never noticed. The secret didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was growing in silence, shaping choices, shaping interactions, shaping the very reality you thought was yours. And when it finally explodes into the open, you're left with a sick feeling. You never actually knew the person standing in front of you. You thought you did. You thought blood or love or trust guaranteed knowledge. But a secret proves you were only allowed to see what they wanted you to see. You weren't living with the person. You were living with their mask. And that realization doesn't just wound your trust in them, it wounds your trust in yourself. How could you have been so blind? How could you miss what was right in front of you? The revelation forces you to rewrite your past. Suddenly, moments that once brought comfort turn into evidence. Words you once cherished now sound hollow. Gestures you once found loving now feel manipulative. That's the most devastating part. It doesn't just destroy the present, it steals the past too. You can't look back without suspicion. You can't reminisce without bitterness. The memories are still there, but they're contaminated, and contaminated memories are worse than no memories at all. And yet, people will say, "At least now you know the truth." As if the truth is some gift, some healing medicine. But truth doesn't always heal. Sometimes it burns. Sometimes it crushes. Sometimes it turns your entire life into rubble. The truth doesn't promise comfort. It promises clarity, and clarity can be a curse. Because once you see things as they are, you can't go back to how they seemed. You can't unknow what you know. You can't unhear what's been revealed. The most dangerous part of revelation is how it warps your perception of everyone else. If someone so close could hide something so big, then what about everyone else? What are they hiding? What truths are buried behind their eyes, their voices, their actions? A single revealed secret can turn you paranoid, suspicious of every smile, every silence. It makes you question not just the betrayer, but the entire world around you. That's the raw power of a revealed secret. It doesn't just expose one truth. It shakes the foundation of your entire reality. It shows you how fragile trust really is, how easily it can be broken, how little you actually know about the people around you. And once that curtain is pulled back, life doesn't look the same anymore, because you realize the show was never yours to control. It was theirs. And they've been writing the script while you've been reading your lines. Blind to the ending they always knew was coming. Trust shatters faster than it's built. It takes years, sometimes a lifetime, to weave the fragile web of belief that someone is who they claim to be, that their words hold weight, that their presence means safety. But all it takes is one crack, one slip, one ugly truth to make that whole web collapse into nothing. It doesn't matter how many times they told you they'd never lie, never hide, never betray. Once the veil is torn, it can never be stitched back the same way. You can try to repair it, but the whole always shows. The fabric never feels whole again. That's the thing about trust. It's invisible while it's alive. You don't see it. You just live inside it. It's the silent foundation beneath every conversation, every glance, every touch. You don't stop to question it, because questioning ruins the comfort. But the moment it breaks, you see what it really was, an illusion you willingly believed in. And that realization hits harder than the secret itself. Because it's not just about what was hidden, it's about the part of you that wanted to believe so badly. The part that ignored the small warnings, the subtle signs, the faint whispers in the dark. When trust shatters, it doesn't fall in silence. It explodes. It sends shards into every part of your life, piercing not just your relationship with the person who betrayed you, but with yourself. You start doubting your own judgment. You replay every word they ever said, every choice they ever made, searching for the moment you missed. The instant when the mask slipped and you didn't notice. And the worst part is, you realize it wasn't just them keeping the lie alive. You were helping them. Every time you looked away, every time you accepted half answers, every time you convinced yourself it was nothing, you were part of the performance. That's why it stings so deeply. Because betrayal doesn't just expose their deceit. It exposes your own blindness. And once trust is broken, every future word, every future promise feels hollow. Even if they swear it will never happen again, even if they beg and plead, there's a whisper in your mind that never shuts up. But what if it does? That whisper becomes your constant companion, and it ruins the ease you once felt. Even if you choose to stay, even if you choose to forgive, the ease is gone. The innocence is gone. You're no longer living with them. You're living with doubt, and doubt has a way of poisoning everything it touches. The cruel irony is that trust builds slowly, brick by brick, while betrayal demolishes it in one swing of the hammer. Years of love, loyalty, and shared history can be erased by a single act. That imbalance is what makes it so devastating. You think time matters. You think the weight of years protects you. But betrayal proves how fragile it all really is. Time doesn't protect trust. Truth does. And once the truth comes out, time is nothing but a reminder of how long you were fooled. And here's the darkest part sometimes, when trust shatters. It doesn't only change how you see the other person. It changes how you see everyone. If they could do it, why not the next one? If they could smile while hiding a knife, why not anyone else? That paranoia grows inside you, twisting your view of the world. You begin to see lies in every word, deceit in every silence, betrayal hiding in every shadow. And maybe you're right. Maybe you're not. But it doesn't matter anymore, because once your trust has been broken, you no longer live in a world of people. You live in a world of masks. And no matter how much you try to rebuild, you can't forget the moment it all came crashing down. Because trust isn't glass. It doesn't just crack where it broke. Once it shatters, the pieces scatter everywhere, and you'll keep finding them in your hands, in your mind, cutting you long after the moment has passed. It's a wound that never really heals. It just hides under the surface, waiting to bleed again at the slightest touch.